Ladies and so how many people are in their pajamas? I didn't bring mine, otherwise I would have worn it.
I heard you were wearing a nightgown last night.
I should have kept it on, right?
No.
It was bloodstained, so I had to keep wearing it.
So you were probably once again, going for fierce and tough, but did he look adorable?
Yeah.
Sorry.
All the guys were hitting on me until I turned around.
Wait, what? What does that look like?
I got it in out.
You look like a girl from the back.
I think so. I did. Thank you. I took the time to shave right before I came down.
I don't know what's happening. All those cello lessons I paid for.
You can still play cello with it. I mean, actually, maybe you can. I don't think I can spare my life. I can't straddle a cello with.
Exactly. It's getting worse and worse. Stop now.
I love it.
Hi. Thanks. Good to be here. Oh.
I'm surprised how many people woke up. Wait, who didn't go to sleep?
You.
Yeah, I got like 2 hours.
That sounds right.
But this time I woke up with a voice. I think Vancouver and in DC I woke up, I couldn't say anything. And luckily it was a duo panel with Gil, and every time he had a couple hours, I'm like, just start it and I'll come in halfway. But this is nice.
Wait, what kind of panel? Wait, so I'm sorry. What is Gil playing?
He plays the grandfather, like Winchester grandfather. John's dad, in flashbacks. He's younger than all.
I was going to say, they always compare you with old people.
Well, it's like the oddest coupling. It's pairing. It's the oddest pairing because we have no relation on the show, but we've done 2 panels together. Which is amazing. Somehow it works. We're like the 2 young guys. I guess.
You look young.
And then they put us with Jack too yesterday, so that was fun. We did a meet and greet with the 2 young guys and Jack. It was a nice message.
Yeah, keep living the life you're living.
Shall we open the floor to questions?
This side's so heavy, and this side only has one.
I can't see anything with the lights in the morning, but I see a figure there. Hello. Hi.
I was just wondering what your favorite thing to cosplay was so far?
That's a question for you.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite thing to cosplay? I think that's a tough one. I feel like every time I do it, it becomes my new favorite thing. I don't know. I still get so excited and nervous every time I come up on stage with a new idea. I'm like, I hope it goes well. I get the butterflies, and now like with the video, it's like, everything's got to go right. I know. Jessica Winchester was. That was an afterthought. But I mean, that was kind of fun last night. Now, I wasn't planned. It was just there, and so I put it on. I know. Honestly, I thought it was really fun. I had really little time to put this one together because I kind of wasted away last week at NJCon, so I didn't really get a chance to prepare.
I saw that one.
Every cosplay, every costume has had something that was so awesome about it. I can't really pick, but Rapunzel was probably the one that changed. Actually, it is like the two cross-dressing ones. Princess Bubblegum, because that was so long. That was also, I just had that, and I just put it on, and it seemed like such a normal decision at the time. I swear, it was so weird. I had it for Comic-Con in San Diego, and I ended up working. And so I'm like, oh, well, there's a Supernatural convention, I'll just wear it there. Because people dress up. Like, there's like a cosplay contest, a costume contest, and it never occurred to me that guests didn't dress up. So I just put it on, and it was such a normal decision until I saw like the volunteers like have their face. And Richard's face and reaction. So on and so forth.
Are you trying to tell me something? You can just come right up. Do you know the comedian Alex Moffat? Alex Moffat is a hilarious Filipino stand-up, and when he wanted to tell his mom he was gay, he got a voice message from her that just said, "Oh, Erica, are you gay?" That's not what you're trying to tell me, right?
No, I mean,
I'd be fine if you are, though.
Of course. I mean, I grew up very, very heterosexual, but who knows? You know? In 10 years.
I love you no matter what.
More than 30 dresses by then, who knows? Maybe it's like Richard and Rocky hitting on me, like one day I just... like, alright guys, I'm into it.
They're pretty cute, I can see that.
Yeah, that's... You're welcome.
For Osric,
Hi.
you said you just like happened to have a nightgown.
Thank you.
So my cosplayers, I don't know if they're here, Jolene. Oh. So she helped me put together Iron Man, and that was my cosplay.
My actual question is going to be, in the Iron Tran Supernatural spinoff, Laura, would you be joining him as Black Widow or Tiger Mom? And what would your powers be?
No, I don't know Iron Tran. What is that?
Well, our other ally is Mark Shepard as the Hulk.
He's an alternate.
I mean, that would actually, Mama Tran as the Hulk would be pretty perfect.
Wait, she asked if I'd be a Black Widow.
You're right, okay.
I have to wear spandex? Okay.
We got a universe. Yes.
Hey, good morning, guys. Sorry.
Good morning.
Sorry. I was just wondering if you guys for like an episode replace any character in Supernatural, so you could act it out.
Just one episode, like a body swap episode? That they have that in?
I guess. I mean, if you want to go with that, who would you decide to be?
A body swap episode?
Oh.
So you've already swapped bodies. You picked
That's
out.
true. I've already been crawling. Maybe it'd be Dean, just so I could see what it's like to look like him. I probably just stare at myself in the mirror.
Body swap episode? Well, I would obviously be Crowley so I could stare in the mirror all day. Yeah, why haven't they done a body swap episode?
Can you imagine Jared pretending to be cast? I think
If Jared was Cass, he'd be, well, if Jared was Misha, I should say, he'd be so conflicted. You know, he'd want to do so much bodily harm to himself. But he'd have to go through the pain of doing that.
dedicated actor.
He's dedicated, you're right, he would do it. Both his shoulders would be dislocated.
If you wanted to be Sam, then I could see like 9 feet tall. Can you imagine if Sam was like Mama Chan's height? You're like, take that!
Sure, like the first 5 minutes he's looking at feet, he doesn't understand. Like, where are the faces? Yeah, Crowley, body all day.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Hi. So before getting the anti-success tattoo, Mama trained until she had a tattoo. What would that be, and what would be Kevin's reaction to that tattoo?
Kevin's one year about it.
You know, I used to be so wholesome on Twitter. And then one of the fans from Vancouver suggested
That was her.
Was that you? You're back! What are we going to do with you? It's Krista, right? Hi, Krista. Krista, I'm just blaming Krista. Krista suggested it was a Venus flytrap.
On her inner thigh.
And I couldn't think of anything, so I went for that.
And then she went and got it.
But no one
Show us
did.
your tattoo,
Yeah.
Lorna.
$10 a piece. You know what? I didn't have this last con to think about that, and I still haven't come up with it. All right, the next con is Chicago. I'm gonna have this by then.
Wait, you're coming to Chicago?
I am coming to Chicago.
Are you going to be there on Friday?
I don't know.
We need to talk later.
Okay. Maybe we should go cosplay together. You can't beat them, just join them, right?
Thank
Yeah.
you. Now, Gil and Julian are also talking about, yeah, it's going to do the thing. Hello.
Took a little nap
So
there.
I just want to say that I loved the Iron Tran outfit yesterday.
Okay. Family costume.
So,
Mama did that.
my question is for Lauren. We all know that Mama Tran is a badass,
Thank you.
but what is one badass thing you wish you was able to do on the show?
Why? Wait, people can't do that on
No.
Take it whatever you want.
Not yet.
I mean, I guess it's possible. Anything is possible.
Oh, you're an angel, but I'm not.
But they don't really
Die.
fly.
None of
They
you
go
die.
up.
Way to rub it in, Mom.
But I heard that means nothing in this show, dead or not. You can, right? You can
I think
Yeah.
half the people are dead on the show.
Or have died.
Not a big deal.
A couple times. And some of them are still dead and they're on the show. I mean, Crowley's dead, right?
Yeah.
Say that it
So
was
is Cassiano.
true.
Angels are dead.
No.
Demons are dead.
Are they just
Do you mean like a superpower?
It could be anything.
Well, you know, it was.
Like a bat. I mean, you've done so much. You punched Crowley in the face.
Well, it made me giddy to punch Crowley in the face. I mean, that would be fun to do it again. Well, first I gotta get back on the show again. But then if I am, that would be good to punch someone else. No. Maybe, yeah, it's the other side of me coming out.
Lauren likes to punch people. When she punched Crowley, though, she threw out her shoulder. And
I
I think it
did.
was punch.
Yeah, that person got kind of sort of come over and helped me, but I was just so into it.
I wonder why.
Nobody ever asked me to do that. So now this might be the next phase of my career. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Okay, so this might be a little bit of a serious question, and it's more for Lauren. Okay. But I guess Audrey can answer it too. So, as
I'm going to Mark Shepard my way around the crowd. Take the floor.
You guys, alright. Okay, so as an Asian viewer of Talk Show, honestly, when Kevin and Mama Chan was first introduced, I kind of rolled my eyes a little because they came off a little bit stereotypical. Yeah, but like, like an episode later, I was, like the character depth that you guys brought into your characters, Kevin and his mother, was like so phenomenal and amazing. And you guys went through so much like character development that I was like, I couldn't help but cheer for you guys.
Oh.
So with that said, yes, I was wondering if you, as an actor, gods typecast into those kind of roles a lot? You know what? Every generation gets a little bit better. You know, so the people who, I don't know if you remember NJCon going back decades, but those people really paved the way for for the next generation. And I'm paving the way for the generation after me. So I think it just keeps getting better and better. And I also feel like there's just a kernel of truth in stereotypes. There is, and right? I mean, I had a tiger mom myself. So, and me too. And my mother's mother was a tiger mom. She was the one who started everything. She was 4'10" and terrifying. She was like a little tank. And so I think that as an actor, if you can find the truth, the real truth in it, then the Asian community or whatever community it is will relate to it. And so I think that's the key. It's when things seem really false, that's when it becomes offensive. So, you know, I remember back in the day, when I first started, I got an episode of a sitcom, and it was written by, you know, white Jewish guys, and nothing against them, but they wrote wrote a line about eating dogs, right? And I said, you know, I can't do that. And so, but it's
I
better.
actually have it. It's not. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, so sometimes you have to just work with the writers a little, because they certainly don't mean to be offensive. They just don't know sometimes. And so it's been a process. But I think for me, a role like Mama Chau is just, it has so much going on. And so to me, that's the key, is to have as many different layers and depth as possible. And it's not just a surface stereotype. So thank you. Thank you very much. Are they being polite, Osric? Are they not? They're not pawing you.
Everything's great. Everything's too
Okay.
quiet. Everything's too sleepy to do.
I know. Are we still going over here now?
I've always wondered what it was like to walk the audience. Is it very slowly? Yes, next question.
My question is for you also. I'm a huge fan of you from like the Good Luck Club, and I love Supernatural, but my favorite show is actually Drama. I'm really excited to see you right there. But yeah, I wanted to know Drama is another show that there's, you know, the fan base is so huge, and it was on hiatus for 5 years, and then to, you know, make its way back on another, calling it a hiatus. Yeah. But I wanted to know, and I know it's a much different show than Supernatural, but sort of how your experience being on Drama and fan base Drama versus, you know, Supernatural, like how different it's been like a big change since doing Supernatural.
Well, there's nothing like the Supernatural family. I have to say, you guys are just awesome. I've never experienced anything like this before. It's like being invited into a big. It is a family, and you feel so much love, and I just feel like everyone's there for each other. It's kind of. I think that bottom line, human beings just want to belong and feel accepted, and that's just a wonderful way. So, having said that, I don't want to just Futurama fans, because they're the reason we came back after we got canceled the first time.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. They're just amazing. They're also, you know, just so loyal and great, but they're not quite as crazy as you guys. You're welcome.
The word is passionate.
It's like a voice.
But it's been such a great ride, and you know, Matt Groening still is very cryptic, and I think they're still trying to work out something. I just can't bring us back on the tone, but I feel blessed by both shows, and it is a family, and I do miss my cast members so much, because we used to get close to seeing everybody once a week. So I wish they had Futurama convention just so I could see everybody again too. That's another wonderful perk of being in.
Yeah, well, Billy and John were at NJCon, so come see that.
Oh, cool. And I'm going to see Billy soon at another con in Minneapolis or something. But yeah, but it's just been an amazing experience. I mean, just to be able to go to work and laugh is such a gift, you know.
Thank you.
So thank you.
Goodbye. So the question is, participate in the E4K thing that I did last year?
No, I
Oh. Oh, you asked what other games I play. Oh. What other games I play passionately? I play a lot of games. You could consider me a game addict. Let me tell you my gaming story. And you're going to dislike it so hard.
I already am.
So there was a good portion of my life. So after high school, I was kind of going to post-secondary school. But mostly I was playing games. It was martial arts and games. That was the only time I ever got off games, was to go and kick my own butt. But that's a lot of time in between where I just filled it with games. So 2 years of my life went to World of Warcraft. Sure, take that back. I'm not proud of it. Among other less cool games that I don't want to talk about. There was this one game in particular that, I mean, you can see this as a high, you can see this as a low. But they opened a new server, and me and my best friend were like, look, it's a new server, everyone's going to be starting from zero, and the first week is double experience. Now what we did was we played for 1 week straight. And I kid you not, I did not sleep. If I had a laptop, it would come in the bathroom with me, because that was the only time I took a break.
You ever hear the phrase, you hang around the coconut so you become a coconut?
Well, I was even hanging out with my best friend. He was at his house, I was at mine. And he took 4-hour naps. I went hardcore. And by the end of the week, I was top 10 in the world. Again, I would have been first if I picked a faster leveling character. There was one other person that did sleep, but I'm pretty sure that guy was doing shifts with another friend. But what that taught me, apart from, I've been playing games for a very long time, is if I do anything for a long time and I really tried at it, I could be the best in the world, at least close. Right? Be applied to other things. Long story short, yes, I play a lot of games and I'm very wary of starting games because I get it, the achievements. You gotta unlock, you gotta complete every single achievement. But those stupid phone games, when there's like 300 whatever tasks, I have to complete every single one of them, including keep the game open for 1,000 hours. I just need that check mark. I don't know why, I just need it. So I can't play games. I mean, Candy Crush killed me. It's like, it starts off like, oh, it's just something for me to do while I'm on planes and stuff. No, it kills you because of the time. And right now it's the Frozen Bejeweled, I can't help it. I can't play games anymore. Do you play games, Lauren?
No! You spend too much time on your hands. I'm just trying to think of, if you took all that passion and all that energy and focus, because that's actually really a good thing.
Oh, it's a great thing.
What could you do with that? What could you do with it, really?
Because you only have 24 hours in a day, and what usually suffers is sleep. Like last night after karaoke, guess what I did in my room? I played games for another 2 hours. There's this game called Don't Starve that a friend he worked on it, right? And he just gave it to me. I'm like, I can't, but because he worked on it, I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And I just figured it out. I mean, anyways. That was 2 hours. I had this big tree chasing me, and then karaoke started, so I had to pause it, so when I got back, I had to kill the tree.
Kill the tree. Well, the first good thing about being an addict is just admitting it. So here's a little one step in. Is that like game playing enough?
Yes, they do.
Is it really?
Yeah, they do. Yes, I hope that
You're not,
what
or
was
was we?
Misha's.
I know it was Misha's idea.
Sorry, continue.
Osric, what was your favorite item to do this year?
Okay, so the question is about Gishwas. What was my favorite item to do? I was working 5 out of 7 days, and one of the 2 days that I had, I spent doing the paper mache head thing in the park, and my team understood. I don't think it was any one particular item.
How many people met you in the park that day?
There was like 200 heads. My favorite thing wasn't an item in particular. It was honestly just hanging out with the team. Like there's 14 of them, 15 including myself, and we're scattered all over the world. And we have this Facebook chat that, I mean, it's still going off on my phone right now, but it never stops because when I go to sleep, someone else wakes up, and they go to sleep, someone else wakes up. You know, we'll have North America time, Europe time, Asia time, Australian time. You know, and there's always someone there. You know, you wake up in the middle of the night and you have a problem, and someone just like, hey guys, this is happening. And so for the last month, that Facebook chat has kind of been like, you know, our own like go-to place. And that's been really cool because a lot of the group members were in a tough time. And then we joined this team, and like all of a sudden we have like 14 best friends. It's like a really cool thing.
Awesome.
And then on top of that, do you plan on participating next year?
I think I will. I feel like I'm
You're a helper,
helper.
too. Your family.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's family is a helper.
Really? That's for my kids, you mean?
Well,
Yes.
you can do it because you can make them.
Oh, I can make you. You're my kid.
You're on my own team. I'm not allowed to.
Oh. Okay.
Thank you.
I'll work it out. Thanks.
We should look into it. It's fun. Hi.
Hi. This one's for Lauren. I love friends. And I adore this enjoy your performance on there. And I enjoy your performance here too. What is your favorite two groups?
What's my favorite difference between the two groups? Do you mean like sitcoms or more drama?
No, I mean like working with the cast and crew of Friends versus
Oh,
Supernatural.
got it. Oh gosh, you know, Friends was so long ago too. But that was exciting just because I got on the show just as it was kind of taking off, and the cast was kind of freaking out because sometimes a crisis, like a big success, can feel like a crisis in a bad way. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but it did because it was so fast and furious, and so they all kind of slammed onto each other, and they were really actually great friends, and so they were so kind to me, and it was the first day was my birthday, I remember, and they all took me out to a real fancy lunch, and I was just so nervous. I was giggling through the whole thing, and I kept saying the stupidest things. I mean, honestly, because, you know, Lisa Kudrow, who plays Phoebe, she went to Vassar. She's super smart, but she plays a real ditzy character. So, you know, in my introduction to her when I met her, I just said, oh my gosh, you don't seem nearly as stupid as you. Someone just shoot me right now. I cannot believe that came out of my mouth. I'm trying to get the words back, but I was just super nervous. But they were really nice, and you know, for Supernatural too, equally, you know, well, you know, Mark plays a little cool, I guess. But I mean, but he's a sweetheart underneath all that. You guys all know that. And but they were also very welcoming. But I don't think that would be like choosing between my kids. I can't really pick a favorite. No. But thank you.
Thank you. My question is for Osric.
Hi. I'm over here.
I was just wondering, do you have a favorite anime character or anime in general?
Favorite anime? Yes, I do. Okay, so do I have a favorite anime character or anime in general? There are so many good ones, and the one I've been following for the longest time has been Naruto. It's the only one And with that in mind, Naruto is probably my favorite character because he's kind of how I like to be in life.
Do it. What is it?
He's
Do it.
stubborn to a fault, but he's like such a good person. You know, I mean,
That's
it's
you.
always the same. It's always the same, right? There's someone like this super duper evil dude, and he's just trying to be friends with them. Do you know any real?
No, can you do it?
No, it's not a do it thing.
Oh,
I mean, they're
You
ninjas.
gotta do it.
So there's like this super duper evil dude, he's killing everybody, and he's just like, I just want to be your friend. And eventually they'll get to the point where, because Nuri comes from a really dark place, he's got like this monster inside of him. Eventually they get to the place where the evil dude's like, oh my god, this guy's just like me. We should be friends. Including the monster in him.
So they're ninjas.
Yeah.
I was watching TV the other day and I was thinking, you should be an American ninja. Do it. You're so strong with the whole...
I considered it one day. I probably will. I really like obstacle courses. But yeah, Naruto in general, I like the values, and honestly, there's so many episodes in which I end up crying because it's just so sad. And it's always the same too, but it gets me every time.
Thank you so much.
Lauren, you kind of took my question about Ninja Warrior.
Oh, sorry.
But I just wanted to say about you, one thing that really impresses me about you is that when you just look at you, you're just this adorable, petite, beautiful woman. And then all of a sudden you can pull out this glare that even makes Sam Winchester tremble in his boots. I find that very impressive, so I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you. Well, I'm channeling my grandmother, like I said. She was the scariest person I've ever met.
That's awesome. And actually, I just kind of improv the question at the moment. Osric,
Yeah.
a lot of people enjoy being on the show, and I know you clearly did. And if you didn't come back as playing Kevin, would you be interested in maybe doing a production type role, the way that like Jensen and Misha have both directed and that sort of stuff?
Definitely. I mean, it's an area that I'm looking into. I mean, it's all part of learning. Like, filmmaking is such a collaborative experience, right? And as an actor, you only see so much. But I feel the more you know about how production is run, how other people do their jobs, you can kind of do your job better as an actor. Even if I don't, stay on as an actor on the show, yeah, I would love to produce, direct. But I mean, I think the show's kind of, they got it together.
You can do it. You can do it.
I don't want to like learn on Supernatural. I don't want to screw it up. I know how bad the backlash would be.
They would like to screw it up.
But if the opportunity came up, yeah, for sure.
You
I would
could do it.
take it in a heartbeat, and I would spend all my waking hours preparing for it.
Except when you were gaming.
Exactly.
I might even delete the game.
Whoa.
That's the only way I can stop, is I just delete it one day. And then I'll be like, I just wasted like 100 hours. But
Way better use of your time.
Deleting the game. I know, it's a hard thing, but it's one of the, I'm a very impulsive person. I'll just do it without thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, well now it's done and I can't control it. I delete, remove all the data. Yeah, I would probably, yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Well,
Can we take a little side tangent and just talk about the breakfast for a second?
oh yeah.
Do you mind? Because one of my passions in life is, obviously my family and my acting, but the fundraising I do for my favorite organization. I just thought I could just add all the passions together. And I love meeting you guys. And so we came up with this idea to do a raffle for breakfast. And we did it in Vancouver. It was so much fun. So basically, if you buy a raffle ticket for $20, I'm going to take you to breakfast tomorrow if you win. And Osric came last time, but he's going to be leaving super early, unless you want to do an early dinner today. That's put you on the spot.
Awesome.
1,000 people, so we could either do either one. But I just wanted to say that it's called Homeboy Industries, this organization, and in Los Angeles we have like a huge gang problem since the 1980s, and this man has single-handedly given all of these men and women who used to be in gangs a second chance at life. So, out of prison, he works with them, he puts them through an 18-month program, and then at the end of that, he gives them a job and gets them back into society. society. And I just believe that everyone makes mistakes, and you know, they deserve a second chance. So it is phenomenal. In having a meal and supporting a great cause, you know, we're going to do photo ops after this and then at the autograph table, so my helper will help me do the rest of it. So thank you.
Hi, if you were to be Iron Man, the name would be Iron Man, but if you were to be a different superhero, what would your name be?
So if I were Iron Man, I'd be Iron Tran. And a different superhero. What superhero?
Veteran.
Anything that ends with a man turns into Tran. Well, that's a fun game. What other mans?
Super Tran.
Batman! I feel like there's a better way of doing this.
Wonder Tran. Wonder
It's gotta be like Asian Lantern. Blue Lantern. Or the Hulk, played by Kevin Tran. Played by Mama Tran. The Hulk family. The family that can't control its rage. Well, we were finished. Okay, no. Yeah, well, I'll probably think of it after over there. Hi.
Hi, I'm Megan. I just wanted to thank you, first of all, Osric and all the other actors who were really so well.
We're all equally crazy with you.
My question is for both of you, and Lauren, you kind of touched on it a little bit when talking about your charity. I was wondering, particularly, not again to stereotype or anything, but being Asian Americans, and you know, because there are so many typecast roles and everything, have you been involved mentoring other Asian American actors or other actors of any ethnicity, and you know, what's that been like?
Oh, it's been great. I haven't done it in any formal program, but I definitely, you know, people will often request just friends and friends of friends, and you know, could I give this young actor some tips? So I'll meet for breakfast or lunch and just try to help them and, you know, navigate their way. It's really not a great business. To be honest, my youngest son wants to go into it now, and he's 11. And, you know, he already started crying because he and his friend, I got, you know, that my agent and everything, and his friend is white, and he keeps getting probably 80% more calls than my son. And because they're friends, you know, they were crying. And I just said, you know, this is how it's going to be, so I need to pull you out of it if it's going to be this hard for you, because that's the reality of the situation right now. But I always try to tell people.
Anyway, basically, just to wrap that up, I just basically try to tell the people that I do mentor to try to not take anything personally. Nothing's personal, and that's in life too. You know, it has something to do with other things.
Yeah, for me, I can't help but give advice and mentor people, like to a fault, probably. Everybody. And this is where I'll throw in, like, this is where I become that person that you don't like to talk to, is if you tell me you want something, and then you show me the things that you're doing, I will very quickly point out everything that, I'm like, okay, you should probably not do this, you should probably do this. Well, I'll basically come up with a plan. I'm like, okay, if that's what you want, and this is where your life is heading, you probably have to change these things so that trajectory gets to the goal. For something like acting, it's so like, there's so many possibilities and there's so many different ways that you can get there, but it requires a tremendous amount of work. And in the end, I break it down. Like, it comes down to math, right? If you want to be a professional at this, and you're starting when you're like 20, that's considered early, right? Like a lot of professionals out there, they start when they're kids, right? So all of a sudden, they have like 15 years experience above you, and they're working. And so this is something that they're working at every day. If you have to like get a regular job, you know, to pay the bills, that makes sense. Or you have to hang out with friends, keep up your social life. But like, luckily acting is one of those things where your entire life experience kind of comes into it, but the technical aspect, learning how to audition, learning the business, getting headshots and stuff, that takes a lot of time, and that's what these people spent those 15 years doing. So if you want to catch up, you basically can't sleep. You can't hang out with your friends, because if they're spending your time and they have 15 years ahead of you, well, how are you going to catch up? You have to spend that same amount of time that they're spending while they're working, and then some, just for a chance to catch up, right? I mean, there's all these things you can do, and sometimes you catch a break, but you have to put in those hours, and
10,000 hours.
yeah, basically, right? And you have to be smart about it. Luckily, even professionals, most people are pretty lazy, because that's what we're kind of geared to do. But if you can get yourself out of that and just kick your own butt and get to it, there's always a chance. There's always a chance. And this is the thing I stress most. I like it. How badly do you want it? Do you want it that bad? Because most people will tell you that they want something, but they don't actually want it that bad. They'd rather take a nap. They'd rather hang out with their friends.
They're interested in it. They're not committed.
But I mean, like, it has to be your end all. When I decided I wanted to act, I made that decision because I was okay with sleeping in the streets, right? That was the thing. I'm like, I can't see myself doing anything else in this world. And, you know, I dropped out of school and moved to China. I didn't know anybody. I was chasing every possible opportunity, and it came down to, like, if I run out of money, I will be okay just doing whatever I can just to keep doing it. And so, you know, you kind of have to be ready to sacrifice everything. If you're not willing to sacrifice, you know, your security, your friends, it's tough. It's just so competitive, and there's no guarantee. But if you want it bad enough, you'll figure out a way, right? It's just how bad. Again, some people will take that hour nap, some people will just bust their ass. So it really depends on what kind of person you want to be, and that's the thing I kind of hammer down. It's like, make sure you want this, because if you don't even want it like just a little bit less than this is your be all end all, then it's kind of not worth it, because there's so much sacrifice involved.
Thank you.
There you go. What's the word by Osric Chau. Everyone come. Osric Chau. Everyone come. Wow.
First ever.
Dang, guys. So in like an hour, somebody's going to wake up Gil McKinney.